Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for joining us on this webinar today. Today's plan is that we're going to be covering the apps for you guys as admins. So we're going to be covering the Manager app as a whole, sort of the benefits of that, and then also cover the Club app so you can see what you may see using the Club app, and then what your members may also see, so just so you can get a feel of everything. So what we'll be discussing today, just a little breakdown, is obviously within the Manager app, we're going to just cover sort of the roles and permissions that you need to use the Manager app, just so you guys are clear. The key features of the Manager app, including the match fees, and then we're going to go into a live demo of the Manager app, covering like the match center, how you can manage your members within it, training sessions, things of that nature. We'll then do a bit of a Q&A. We'll probably come back to this slideshow, and then we'll cover on the Club app. We'll go over how members make payments on the go, schedule their availability for fixtures, training sessions. There'll be a little GIF that we've created that you can see how your members receive news alerts on the go, team selection prompts on the go, things of that nature. And then again, a quick little demo of how the Club app works. And then again, we'll come off, round everything off with a nice Q&A. So hopefully we'll cover all areas for you guys. And as always, we'll be having a couple of stops, answer some questions, and hopefully box it all off. So kicking us off is the roles and permissions. So most of you already know this, but just to cover it, is essentially the role that you need on Pitchero to use the Pitchero Manager app is minimum of team admin, and obviously then your webmasters as well can use it to manage teams and members. So obviously, if anyone wants to become a webmaster or team admin at the club, they can obviously speak to someone, a webmaster at the club, to then update their roles, or alternatively, they can apply for those roles within their Pitchero account. You can do that on the Club app. We'll also quickly cover that as well. And then as well, team admins can log into the Pitchero Manager app and use the app to manage a team on the go. As we always say, this is a sort of a team management on the go solution. So the Team Manager app, the Pitchero Manager app is available free on iOS and Android. And there's just a couple of screenshots there of different pages of what you can see. So we've got a list of fixtures, availability, the formations, requesting match fees, things of that nature. So the key features of the Manager app are the match center. So you can add fixtures, edit fixture info, view results and more. You can see player availability and then do your team selection. So you can prompt your players for availability on a specific date. You can choose your match day 11 and publish those teams out. And then additionally to that, you can manage training and player attendance. So obviously you can see who's due to be turning up due to the availability. And then from there, you can actually mark who's attended at that training. That then allows you to run a report on the admin dashboard, which I think we've previously covered. And then you can run a track and trace report and see who's actually turned up on what days in a certain time scale, if you wanted to do just for a week, for the whole month, for a whole season, things of that nature. Additionally, there's automated social media updates, so you can share key match events in real time. That's less so relevant for cricket, because obviously you guys have got that play cricket integration, so obviously everything gets pulled through from there. So that side of things obviously not as much use for you guys, and something we're not going to cover today, as I say, with that play cricket integration. And then the final one is obviously collecting match fees, so you can prompt players for the specific fees when you've created those different variants of senior, junior, student, things of that nature, and then you can track who's paid and not paid, and your captains can go back into fixtures and prompt people from there. So that's moving us over to the Pitchero Club app. So what I'm going to quickly do is move over, share my phone screen, and we're going to just cover a few bits on the Manager app, and then, like I say, run a Q&A session from there. So as some of you may know, from the last time we did this, there was the odd issue with sharing my phone screen. So if someone could just let me know in the Q&A section, just a quick yes, if you can actually see that, that'd be brilliant, and we'll get started. Lovely. Thanks for that, guys. I'll get going with it then. So this is the nice little home screen, and obviously this is the first page you get when you go into the Pitchero Manager app. So what you can see here is a list of fixtures, and then from there you can then toggle through to different teams. If you're a webmaster, if you're a team admin, you'll only see them for your team. You can see the current ones and then the ones for the future. And then if you wanted to, you can click up here and toggle back to previous ones. So nice and easy to manage. As I mentioned, with you guys, you'll have a Play Cricket integration, or the majority of you will. And then all the fixtures will then pull through from there. So if they're a league fixture, they'll pull through, you'll get a list of them on there, and then you can manage them from there as well. So what we'll first do is we'll just go into this webinar 11 here, and then obviously got a various different selection here. So what we can actually do then is go into match information. There's a list here of various things, so you can select home away, you can change the away team if you want to, change the date, change the time, whether it's a friendly, you can change it to league, cup, festival, tour, etc. You can actually postpone, cancel and abandon fixtures within the manager app as well. And then obviously you can then, if you set locations for different grounds, let's say, you can then obviously change them as well. The thing to note down here is you can actually set a meet time. So, I mean, I've put the start time at 8:30, but if we say a more realistic meet time for you guys at cricket of 11 in the morning, and then instructions, meet at club. And then we're just going to hit done. And then obviously you can press done, and that updates everything. From there, there's a little bit of an availability section. So that just gives you essentially the availability for the date of the fixture for the whole team. You can then scroll to other teams as well if needs be to see theirs. Obviously with cricket, you can sometimes, the selection can be fairly fluid, and you'll be wanting to pull people up and down through teams. So we'll go into the team selection here. What you can then do is when you go into select again, you can see the availability within here. So obviously the availability side of things on that first page is less so important, because you can then go into the fixture when you're doing your selection and actually see the availability here. Most of these are going to show up as a nice orange exclamation mark, which means it's not been set, just because the majority of them are dummy accounts. But if we go to availability and then hit available, then we're just going to filter to that. Hopefully I show up, I do. So nice green tick, and then I can go in and go, okay, Will's the only one that's put himself as available. We're going to select him as the first point, and then we'll go back in, and then we'll just do some selection from there. Wrong one. Let's just get a quick few put together here, so we can then move on to other sections. That'll do us. And then you can choose to either publish the team selection using that little tab in the top. So we'll just press that and publish it out. And then you can also prompt your players as well. I won't do both at the same time, because people around the office might be getting some notifications which they don't want. And then from there, there's a scores and events section. I won't go into that because, like I say, cricket, Play Cricket integration all comes from there. So we'll leave that one out. And then the next one within it is match fees. So if you go into match fees, if you select an 11, you can then use the team selection to then pull the list of players through. And then prior to this, you'll have set up your match fees on the admin dashboard with all the different variants that you need. So it'll pull those through. They'll set to the preset of the £12, which is our senior one. So if I just go and find myself here, click on myself, I can then see the different variants and go, hang on, I was actually a student at the time of this game, and then Joe is a driver. So we'll change those. It then shows you different values. You can then send out there in the bottom right, or you can change in the top right. If you need to add any further players, you can do so. And then we'll hit send. All show as unpaid, and then hopefully, as and when people pay, hopefully within the first 10 minutes of it going out, people will get it all paid. They'll all start to turn green. But what you can do if someone comes up to you in the changing room as a captain or an admin and goes, I don't have my card on me, or I don't have my phone on me, something like that, but here's a tenner for my match fee. You can then go on, click on myself, and then you can see paid in cash there. So we're just going to select that paid in cash and then hit confirm. So there's still that option, and you can still track it through Pitchero using that. So moving over from this, we've done the availability and stuff like that. You can also do fixture creation. So if you have like a friendly fixture, and obviously those don't pull through from Play Cricket, you can just add them in through the manager app. Nice and simple. So we're going to go for the first team. The away team is a Leeds 11, as that's where we're based, and it's going to be on the 24th. Start time can be 1 p.m. And then we're going to say, yeah, it's a friendly, hit done, and then that just adds into there. So nice and simple for you guys to see. Very simple to add in, and then like I say, same process as what I've just gone through for you. The next section on here is the training. So you can see a list of training sessions we've already created here, but what you can do, again, you can create blocks of training en masse. Obviously, this is probably more useful for when you're doing winter nets, but it's also helpful for the summer as well. So we're just going to do senior T, and I'm just going to mark it as a number 2 so I can identify it when we go through. It'll then take you through to this. You can put a location on it. So we're just going to put ground. Attending teams are going to be the first and seconds because it's senior training. The organisers, myself. The first day is going to be let's go the 28th, and then start time we'll keep it as 6 till 7 as that's not too unreasonable. Then you can repeat it, so you can repeat it every day, week if needs be, and then the repeat can end, so you can have a block of training sessions. So if you just say, I don't know, like the season's 18 weeks, let's go for that, and then that'll create a block of 18 sessions. You can put a description on it if needs be. Hit done. That'll then take you through to this page. You can then see all the training sessions. You can see all the training sessions from there, and then you can see availability as well on those. So you can see the teams that you've assigned to it. So I assign the first and second team. They'll then show up in the players' schedules. They can mark their availability. You can then see the availability for both teams and get a gauge as to who's going to be turning up. And then from there, like I say, you can mark a nice register as who's turned up here. So you can just go through as and when people turn up and mark them. So that's all nice and simple. Oh yeah, and like I say, if you need to add any further sessions, you can do so. So next is moving on to managing your members. So that's sort of a key one of the manager app. So you can, obviously I'm a webmaster, so I can see information for all of the members of the club here. But obviously your team admins will be able to see the information for their team. So let's just say, God forbid someone isn't wearing a helmet, gets bounced on a Saturday, gets hit in the head, drops down unconscious, and you need to actually go in. We'll use myself because I'm a bowler, not a batsman, so that's not unlikely to happen if I was not to wear a helmet. And then you can go on to me, use details, and then you can get all of my details, my membership details, medical conditions, emergency contact name, number, etc., etc. And then you can then use that. Obviously, if an ambulance was turned up, you've got the information on hand. You can contact anyone that needs to be contacted. So it's nice and handy for your captains to have, your admins to have, and it just sort of makes your life a bit easier instead of having to struggle to find maybe a laptop, get the information out up on a spreadsheet. The thing you can also do from here as well is you can message players. So again, if I use myself, if I go into myself here, you can then send a message to me and then send a specific message to me. I'll come on to the announcements again after this. Also within this, you can manage requests. So if anyone requests any roles, whether they want to be a team admin, a player of the first team, and they're actually a fifth team or something like that, you can see all that, manage it, approve it, reject it, whatever it may need. And then also add members in. So you can just go through and add them in there, nice and simple. The other thing you can do is invite new members via this button here. So you can click invite new members and then it pulls up and you can invite them via different methods, or you can invite them by copying a link and sending it to them that way. Again, we've got availability for the different dates that there's something on, and then you can see the whole club availability if you're a webmaster, and then again, team admins, you can see it for your team. So if I just go on this Tuesday one, again, you can see it for that. It'll show you for your team, and then nice and simple. So moving over to the last section is announcements. So that's essentially announcements work as either one-to-one communication, but then the member you send it to can't reply. That's what the announcement is, or you can send it out to whole groups if needs be. So it's nice and simple to do. You choose recipients. You can actually filter it by team and go, I'm going to send it to these 3 people, and then add them in. Subject, we'll just do webinar, and then again, we'll just do webinar, hit done, send, and then that'll then go through to those members. What you can then do is actually track whether members have read it. So obviously you can see I've just read it. And then with things of that nature, obviously if it's like a training's been cancelled, game's been cancelled, you can send that out and then sort of take reference of who's actually read it. And then if you need to contact them further from that, give them a call, something like that. You can obviously go back into the membership side of things, find them, give them a call from there. So that is a really sort of overall view of the manager app. I can see we've got a couple of questions in currently. So like I say, I'll just take a quick break, let any further questions that you've got come in, and then from there, we'll carry on, move back over to slides and then look into the club app. Right, so we've only got the 2 questions in so far. The first one is from Bob, and he says the changes to manager, e.g. changes to manager app, e.g. new fixture alert members automatically. So if you were to change a fixture, then the information on that wouldn't alert them automatically. It'd show in their schedule. Like I say, we'll cover the schedule later, and then you can see what that looks like, Bob. So Jeff's asked, how do you set payments for training? So I'll just send you a quick message on here, and if you want to email me directly, Jeff, we can have a conversation about that outside of the webinar, as we've covered it in previous webinars as well. So I don't want to just go back over that another time for those that have already seen that. Rich asked, did you say that if you score a game through Play Cricket, it automatically filters into Pitchero? Correct. So if you do, we've got essentially the integration with Play Cricket means that once every 24 hours, we pull through the changes to a fixture. So those changes can be whether it's been a change in time, change in date, cancelled, or the results change. So you've been scoring it and then the result changes. So if the result changes, then we'll pull through the information of that result, and then the scorecard will then show as well, Rich. Jamie's asked, how do you make players available / belong to multiple teams? We often won't know who people will play for at the start of a week. So you just add them to the various different teams within roles. So on the role side of things, members can be assigned to more than one team. So obviously that's how they do it. They'll be able to see the fixtures for those teams. And then from there, you guys can select them and put them in the teams that they actually belong to for that fixture. Jonathan's asked our availability info. It looks like we as managers can state whether players are available or not. Is that correct? No, so the availability can only be done by the member. So the member / parent, it depends who's controlling the account, sets their availability. And then you guys can obviously see that. You can then do selection from there and put people into teams, things of that nature, but you can't then directly affect the availability. What you can do, I think, is what you may have seen is me marking as people having attended a training session. Patrick's asked, how do you add date of birth and other details to players and for player data? So that depends. It's essentially, if you add them in at the start, Patrick, you can add the information all in when you create the initial profile. However, if they've got a fully registered account, you can then prompt them through the membership database on the admin dashboard to update their information. They can do it that way. If you want further information on that, feel free to contact the support team. It's support@pitchero.com. So Jonathan has asked, where do we see you as available for each match? I can see on the app, it lists one player available, but I cannot see who that is on my app. So I'll just go back to it for you. Let's just share my phone screen again. So we'll go into the fixture, we'll go into the Pitchero demo, then we'll go into availability here. You can then filter it to availability, available, go back, hit done. Then you'll get a list of people available. Obviously, like I say, this account is dummy one, so there's not actually anyone in there. I think if I actually go to the webinar one, I set myself as available earlier, which is what I just did before. So again, we'll just do that so you can see what it actually looks like when someone's available. You get a list of those available. So hopefully that's boxed off the question for you, Jonathan. Peter's asked, if I pick a team in Pitchero, will it filter through to Play Cricket? No. So the integration only works one way. It only comes from Play Cricket to Pitchero. It doesn't go the other way, Peter. Gordon's asked, can I contact you as well about marking places paid? Yeah, of course you can, Gordon. Feel free to either contact me or the support team. If you contact the support team and just say, for the eyes of Will, then they'll pass it over to me. So that's absolutely fine. No worries, Rich. Jonathan's asked, can we invite new members by posting a link on either WhatsApp group? Yep, so that was covered again, Jonathan. This will be sent, the webinar recording will be sent round. So it'll probably be 15 minutes or so in, I'd imagine. And then, yeah, we cover how you can invite the various different members. Lovely stuff. So back over to this slideshow, and we're just going to do a couple of bits on the Pitchero Club app like we did before, and then move on to a quick demo of that as well. So in here, again, Pitchero Club app's available free on the iOS App Store and Android. So you've got a nice little GIF there of how members see a notification come through on their home screen. They tap it, takes them through to their schedule, and then you can see various different availabilities. You can see your selection. I'm saying I'm playing here. And you can see that, and then on the right here is just a bit of a screenshot of what it can look like. So the key features of the Club app are the schedule. So obviously that's the main one. You can view your fixtures, training, edit your availability, see various club events within that. You can manage payments. So if you're outstanding payments, see the prompts for match fees, your membership fees, and easily pay them on the go. Nice little screenshot in the bottom right there of a match fee request. So additionally, you can receive club updates on the go, like I just showed in that previous one with the GIF. You can receive prompts for your team selection. You can receive news articles, and then you can just click them, takes you through to the club app, and you can view various things. Again, within there, you can see results. So you can see your first team fixtures, and then the results, click on it, see a scorecard for it, etc. So just on this page, if you have anyone at your club potentially struggling to download the club app or manager app, there's always something you could potentially take a screenshot of this when the webinar is sent round. And then there's a QR code that they can just scan, and from there, they can get those apps downloaded and moving. Just get my phone sorted to move it over to the club app for you guys, and then we'll get kicking on that one. Sorry, just whilst we're on, I've just seen a question come in from Jeremy, which is actually not a bad question at all. It says, can you edit match information in the manager app, or is it just play cricket? At what time each day does the sync happen between play cricket and Pitchero? Is it hourly or more often? So it's once every 24 hours, Jeremy, the sync. So what time of the day it happens, I don't actually know. I think that varies, but I think generally speaking, it's usually overnight. From when I play cricket on a Saturday, the results are usually up and on the system by the time I wake up the next morning. With regards to, can you edit the information? So you can edit some bits of information in the manager app. But obviously the key information, such as changing the date, things of that nature, we'd always advise changing it in play cricket, because then it'll pull through to Pitchero. Like I said before, Pitchero doesn't then go back to play cricket. Sorry, I just realised that my mic wasn't working then. It's always something that goes wrong, you can guarantee that. So as we'll backtrack and actually cover what I've just gone over to myself again. So apologies for that, guys. Bear with me one sec. We'll get it all sorted and going again. Just double check you can hear me because I wasn't actually on mute on our end. So if you can just let us know. Lovely stuff. Thank you. Apologies if you can hear a little bit of background noise. As it's the time of day, everyone's going to be leaving the office. You may hear a couple of people walking past, so apologies if you can hear the background noise, but hopefully there shouldn't be too much. Right, back into it we go. Home screen. You've got your fixtures up in the top here, and then you've got the current present one, the one that's going to be coming up most recently, and then you've got any past ones up here, and then you've got any future ones as well showing there. So that's us on the 21st of March, isn't it? And then obviously along the top here, you've got a match list. So you can see, again, current, future, past matches, news articles. You can see some news articles there, photo albums, so they're called video albums, events. Then we'll go back to the overview page. You've got your match fees showing there. So obviously any members that actually say they haven't seen their match fees come through, if they use their club app, they'll be able to see it. And obviously, now you guys have seen it, you can say hang about. You definitely do see it on your home screen. Go into view here. What you can then actually see is what fixture it's for, what team it's for, who's requested it, and then what actual fee it is. So obviously, if you see, by example, the fee says starter there, but let's say it's a senior fee, and then you realize hang about, it actually needs to be a student fee, you can just get in touch with the member who's requested it and say, oh, so-and-so, you've requested a senior from me, I'm actually a student, could you change it just before I pay it? Then you can pay by card or Apple Pay. So it's always nice and simple to do. Then you can scroll down and see a breakdown of all of them for various different things. And then you've got some news stories there. And move over to the schedule. Obviously, it's what I just went over to myself. But you can obviously set your availability and do a variety of different things. And then from there, you can also select whether you're going to be playing in a match. Obviously, I've said I'm playing in that one. Do availability. Obviously, went through that before, and you can actually add a note, say you're on holiday, something like that, if you're lucky enough to be on holiday this time of year. I envy you. But yeah, the other one that I mentioned is on the right-hand side, you've got another name. So that's obviously players who may have children or just parents who manage their child's account. They've got their child's account here within the schedule as well. So you've got that. Nothing shown in there currently because it's just a sort of dummy account. But yeah, it'll show exactly the same as what we've just gone through on my sort of list. You guys can then manage it. And then the other thing you can do is you can add you to your own calendar, to your personal calendar. So nice and simple to do. Within here, you've got your messages. So if we just look on here, you get your membership prompts. So anything that you've been requested to pay. So like on here, Jordan's requested that I pay my membership for 23 early bird. You can then click to view the product. It takes you through to it nice and simple. If it's just an announcement that training's been cancelled, then you can see that. And then just general one-to-one messaging. So if you see like a request for a role, you then get an automated message as well. And then any just one-to-one messaging shows up in here. You can then create a message in here, search for members, send a message to them from there. So nice and easy to use that. And then the other one is you've got the club shop. So the way that shows is obviously if you set anything to available for members to purchase, that'll then show up in here. And then they can go in and select any of the relevant products. But if you then assign a member to a product, what it then shows is obviously you've been asked to buy this specific product. I'll click into that product there, get a breakdown of the different variants of that product, go into the senior 23 one, hit buy. It'll take you through to a page, and then you can pay now, or if it's a parent or something, pay for a different member. I'm going to go and pay for my child, hit next, and then it obviously takes through the checkout process, which I'm not going to do for 200 quid. But yeah, you've also got along the top here different product types. Obviously, if there's a club barbecue or anything, you can go to tickets, see those in there, purchase them, filter by that. You can also see what's previously been purchased as a member. So obviously, if anyone says to you guys, oh, I've purchased this, you guys don't have, or you guys are saying they've purchased it, they've not purchased it and they're saying they have, you can just send them to this page and go have a look and see if you purchased it, send us a screenshot. Obviously, you've also got the reporting on the back end of things to back you up. The last thing on here is obviously you can go into manage your account. So you can manage your clubs, you can manage your info, which is obviously like your registration form and things of that nature. So I'll just scroll down, you'll be able to see all that information down here. You can do your child's information as well. Same process, everything's down here. I haven't answered any of them. I'm an awful parent for my imaginary child. You can then see your match fees again. You can see your child's match fees. You can edit your roles. Like I said before, if you want to become like a team admin, you can request it within here. You can also manage your child roles if needs be. From there, you can manage your notifications, take you to the Pitchero Help Center, and then log out if you wanted to log out. So that is your quick run through, obviously, of the club app. Sorry, I will say one last thing. Let's say if you're playing in the senior teams and then one of your children play in the under 15s, ones in the 13s, something of that nature, you can then go in and actually view specific things for a team. So you can then, if your app shows the first team, then you want to see something for their team, you can just go in and choose them from there. So nice and simple to do. I'll just take us back to the home screen. And then again, any questions you guys have got, I'll give it sort of 5 minutes or so just for any to come in, let us know. And then we'll get those answered before we box this off. We've currently just got the one question in from Carolyn, which is saying, hi Will, is it just Stripe for match fee payment, no go cardless direct from bank for the products in the shop? Just checking. Yes, so currently it is just Stripe for match fees. We may look to introduce go cardless down the line, but for you guys this season with cricket, it's not going to be included. So yeah, it'll just be Stripe. It is Stripe and will just be Stripe, especially for this season for you guys. Right, so we don't appear to be having any more questions coming in. Again, if you guys want to take a screenshot of this page for the QR codes for the Club App Manager App downloads, then you can do so. Send them out to various club members if you want to, or just have them handy through if someone comes up to you at the club and says, I can't download it, you could pull this out on your phone, get them to scan the code, and then from there they can hopefully download the apps. And then obviously, as always, feel free to either contact myself, or it's w.dunkerley, dunkerley, at pitchero.com, or get in touch with the support team, which is just support@pitchero.com. We're always happy to help. And then obviously, any questions you've got, don't hesitate. We'll give it a minute or so just to make sure there is no final questions. But if there isn't any, thanks for joining us, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your Tuesday. And